Good morning. I'm procrastinating things, so let's try to work on getting rid of some of the stash behind me. I think that will be fun. I've had this idea of rolling around in my head for a while, over 6 months, and why not today? No time like the present. Let's just do it. I'm feeling a little uninspired, so let's get crazy. That's how I feel. If my shelves look different to you, it's because recently we swapped rooms, my craft room and my daughter's room. We switched all of the furniture and the 2 rooms in our house, which meant taking all of the yarn off of these shelves, unattaching them from the wall because they're anchored down, obviously, and then putting them in this room, putting all the yarn back on the shelves. And that's why they look a little crazy, is because I just was shoving yarn back on the shelves. I've talked about this before, that I would really like to use up some of my yarn stash. Clearly the shelves are full. They're very full. I don't necessarily have an issue with the amount of yarn that I have. It's just that I can feel myself changing preferences when it comes to yarn. Originally I was a weaver, like a wall hanging type of fiber artist. So that meant I used a lot of bulky yarn, jumbo yarn, whatever. And then I got into crocheting amigurumi, so I have a lot of worsted acrylic yarn. I've also inherited a lot of yarn, especially worsted acrylic. And now that I've learned how to knit, I could feel myself shifting yarn preferences into things more like wool or linen, cotton blends type of a vibe, less acrylic. But I have no space for new yarn. So that means I have to use up what I have so I can make some space to buy more yarn. That's the vibe. As gorgeous as it is, gotta use it. So I have a silly idea. I hope I can, this idea isn't totally fully fleshed out. I'm gonna be so for real, but will it ever be if I don't just try? So I'm just trying. Okay, let me pull up my Google Doc. Okay, we're calling this Yarn Stash Roulette. Perfect. Oh, first of all, let me just say, apparently I don't own any dice at all in my house. Not even like a 6-sided one, which I thought that I did. So we're gonna have to like roll on the computer until I can find or / acquire an actual dice. Anyways, we're just starting. We're just going. We're not fully prepared, but we're just gonna launch. Okay. Hopefully playing Yarn Stash Roulette will get me to use yarns maybe that I wouldn't have chosen otherwise. I'm hoping that by putting some restrictions on myself, it'll help boost my creativity, which is something that has worked for me in the past. So we're gonna roll for if I need to knit or crochet something, and then we're gonna roll for the color / the shelf number, because each of these 3 shelves has 7 shelves on them, so there's 21 shelves, and they're mostly color coordinated. So basically we're rolling for like a shelf number / color. Because even though these 2 are green, this one is mostly light green and this one is mostly dark green. That's supposed to be the vibe, at least. So for things like that, I think we'll roll for shelf number. So it'll be either the light green shelf or the dark green shelf, not just green totally. Okay, then we're gonna roll for yarn weight. Self-explanatory. Then we're gonna roll for finished object type. We have 6 categories. Home decor, garment, accessory, amigurumi, tapestry, and wildcard. Wildcard means I get to pick. Perfect. So once we have, like, I just keep using light green. So let's say I rolled For the knitting and crochet, I was thinking it would be evens and odds because it's just one or the other. So like if I roll an odd number, it means I need to crochet it. If I roll an even number, it means I need to knit it. So for example, let's say we rolled a 2, which is an even number, so that means knitting. Then we rolled the light green shelf. That means that we have to pick our main yarn from the light green shelf. Then we rolled worsted weight. That means the yarn we pick has to be worsted weight. And then we rolled amigurumi. So then I would have to make something using those parameters and see what I come up with. The example I just gave, did I say knitting? Okay, so yeah, then I would have to figure out how to knit a little green worsted weight stuffed toy. Interesting. So it's just things that I never would probably do that without this challenge. Okay, so let's get into it. When it comes to stash busting, I had hoped to weigh and catalog all of my yarn before I started this challenge. I haven't done it. What a chore. I haven't done that. So my new plan is to weigh and catalog each shelf as I roll them, as they come up. Otherwise, I'll never do it. I just know myself. The only other type of rules I'm thinking is that I can use other colors, other yarns in the project, but the main color has to be the one that I rolled. The other rule is that this is my craft room. I play God in here. Whatever rules I feel like making up is the rules that we're going with. Perfect. I'm going to weigh the yarn before I make the project, weigh the yarn after I make the project, and we're going to keep track of how well this challenge is working at whittling down the stash. Let's start. I'm excited. All right, I'm going to just hold up my laptop to you. This is what we're doing because I film on my phone. If we roll an odd number, it's crochet. If we roll an even number, it's knitting. What do we have? 4? Even? Knitting! Our first project is going to be knitting. This one's crazier. And then we roll for the yarn shelf. Ignore the ad. Although it is just Robbie from the pit, so we'd love that. Okay. Orange. Orange shelf. That's this guy right here with Mr. Fox. Number 3, yarn weight. I'm pretty sure yarn weights are numbered. Let's do some research on yarn weight. So it looks like there's technically 8 yarn weights all the way from 0 to 7. But I'm just going to combine the edges. It goes lace, super fine, fine, light, medium, bulky, super bulky, jumbo. Super bulky and jumbo I'm combining. Anything bigger than... See, there's bulky, super bulky, and jumbo. I really feel like my yarn stash, it's going to be like little, medium, or big. I might have to do that. Because I obviously don't have lace weight on every single shelf. Interesting. Yeah, it basically goes fingering, sock, sport, DK, worsted, chunky, super bulky, and jumbo/roving. Okay, we're just going to see how it goes. And I make the rules, so it's going to be fine. Yarn weight. 3. So that's DK. Pretty sure. Yeah, 3 is a DK. All right. We'll see if I have that. If I don't have a yarn weight in that color, I feel like I'll just pick the closest thing that I have. But we'll see. Oh my God, last thing is finished object. Ready? Amigurumi. I can do this. Oh, but knitting. I can do this. Okay, perfect. So let's pick out some yarn. Let's see what we have to work with. Orange is by far my smallest color that I have. Where Finnegan the Fox is, to the left of just that one shelf, is orange. So orange only takes up half a shelf. So we're going to see what we can find. Oh, step one is weighing the yarn. Let's get it all down. All right, while I'm doing this, let me explain my method for cataloging my yarn, especially since most of it does not have a yarn label. I made a Google spreadsheet and it has 5 columns and 21 pages that I can flip between because I have 21 yarn shelves. So I've opened the orange page and the 5 columns are yarn size, like yarn weight, lace weight, fingering, sport, DK, blah, blah, blah. Next one is weight in grams, and I stole the kitchen scale. That's my favorite. Then fiber type. Most of my stash is acrylic, but there's a couple one-offs that are not acrylic. Then color. If it has a yarn label, it has a color name, most likely. If not, I just try to do my best to describe the color of the yarn. The last column is number of skeins. If I think I have multiple cakes that were all the same type of yarn, color, yarn, whatever, then I'll write down how many I have so I don't have to make a bunch of individual entries for one type of yarn. Okay, those are my 5 columns, and then at the end of weighing all this, I'll add up all of the grams of orange total, and I'll get back to you. I've picked out all the DK orange yarn that I have. Quite a little variety. This one is so interesting. It gives like a mohair type of effect because it's so fuzzy. I actually used it in Finnegan the Fox. If you can see, I held it double with a chunkier yarn, and it just gives him such a nice little halo. He's so fuzzy. So I really like this yarn. Let's find a pattern. I scoured Ravelry for knitted, stuffy, toy free patterns. No offense to anyone's creativity. Some of these free patterns are like nightmare fuel. They're a little spooky. And I'm sure half of it is just the pictures, but no judgment. Just a little spooky. That's all. Anyways, I couldn't decide if I wanted to do a bunny, like a white bunny, but like an orange outfit, but that didn't really feel like I was using up orange as the main color. And then I thought about a cat, but the cat pattern I liked the most seemed very intensive. Like it would take a long time, and I didn't want to do something that would take a long time. So this is the pattern I settled on. I'll put a picture. It's called Carp Fish by Maria Ermolova. Cool. I'm going to do it in this orange color, and I think it'll look like a cute goldfish kind of a vibe. There is some color work in this, surprisingly. I don't know why that's really... I just wasn't expecting that. I was thinking maybe it would be duplicate stitch or something, which I could do, but I like color work, so I think that's fine. Anyways, so there's like little spots on the fish, and I'm just going to do it in this one. There's not much of a difference. It's kind of just subtle, but I don't know, it's just a goldfish, so I think it would be nice. My options were the darker one or this lighter one, but these two are a little bit shiny. This one just is kind of dull. I don't know, I wasn't feeling it. I like this combo better, basically. And I'm just knitting a little goldfish. Here's my progress so far. That's my progress. I don't know if the color work is... There's only been I don't know, 4 rows of color work so far. So I'm not sure how visible that is. It's slightly visible. Anyways, I think it's knit, oh, sorry. It's knit flat and then seamed up. And the original pattern calls for worsted weight. But like with any, that's why I really enjoyed making crochet amigurumis, because gauge didn't matter. As long as all the yarns you're working with are the same weight, it doesn't matter what size your stuffy turns out to be. Since this pattern calls for worsted weight, but I'm using DK weight, my fish will be teeny tiny. And I don't think I don't know how much it's actually going to use up, like how much stash it's actually going to use up. But I think it'll be fine. I think it's cute. So anyways, this is what I'm working on, making this little fishy. Whoa, that's so close. Yesterday, it's the next day, by the way. Yesterday I finished making all the little pieces, and now I need to sew them all together. So this is it's really bright in here. This is the body of the fish that I need to sew up. This is the main fin, called the dorsal fin, that goes on the top of the fish. And then I have 4 les dos fins, 2 pelvic fins and 2 pectoral fins, apparently. So I need to get my safety eyes out and put safety eyes in this. I don't always use safety eyes for amigurumi. It just depends on who I'm making it for. If I think I'll give it to a child under 3, I won't put safety eyes. I'll just embroider. My daughter's 8 now, or like if I'm just keeping it for myself, then I'll do safety eyes because they're easier, obviously. Okay, actually, I wasn't sure if you could see the color work because the colors, there's not that much contrast, but I still think it's visible. It's just subtle, which I don't mind. Let me get the safety eyes. Unfortunately, my favorite part is knitting and my least favorite part is sewing, and so here we are. We're at the sewing part. This is the tiniest mattress stitch I've ever done.
With the ginger.
Some contrasts. So here we go.
I'll go back to neutral gray. Not sure finished version. Let me color the flowers first so I know what I can and can't use for the shirt. Oh, this is where the toned paper is going to...
I feel like I'm about to do a magic trick and reveal that I actually have a goldfish in my hands. Is this good? Oh no, when it's upside down it looks dead.
A little bit. Look at that chin. Ooh, look at that thing. Oh, shooting neutral gray and the blue for the shirt. I can just do the...
Oh my gosh, that took like an hour and a half. That's why I don't really love sewing, is because it takes forever. Don't love that. Anyways, here's my little fishy. Why did I make that? Oh my Lanta. Look at the little fish. Ta-da. Wait. It's very cute. That's my little fishy. I'm not sure how well the color is picking up. It's easier to see on this side, but I used the 2 oranges. This was the main body color. Also the tail fins, and the fin on top. I said their names, I forget already. Dorsal fin. I don't remember what the butt fins are called. Anyways, this one for the main body, the tail, and the top fin, and then I did use my contrast color for the little tiny fins. Really, I was just hoping it would like bring it all together. I don't know. I think you can kind of tell. Maybe it just gives it dimension for my little goldfish. I don't know. Anyways, are you scared to see how much yarn this used? Because I'm guessing the answer is like 2 grams, truly. Let's find out. Okay, I'm not sure if I had actually said this when I started this project, but I don't think I did. Once I weighed all of my orange yarn, I have 1,538 grams. That is a spooky number. So if we think about that in terms of 100-gram skeins, it means I have 15.38, so almost 15 and a half. 15 and a half 100-gram skeins of yarn, just in half a shelf. I'm scared. I haven't weighed or cataloged all my yarn yet. So far, just orange. But how are we feeling? What do you think? How much yarn do you think I have in grams? Just this portion is 1,500 grams. Any guesses on what everything is? Yeesh. Anyways, let's get serious. I should have highlighted the 2 that I used specifically, but that's okay. Okay, I found it. I found it based on the fact that the yarn weight is the DK, and I only had 2 DK weight scraps. And one, the description is light orange, and the other one, the description is bright orange. So I think I did a really good job. This one is the bright orange. Anyways, that's how I know. Next time I'm going to highlight it because that's too much. 6 grams. And we started at 7 grams. Okay. Oh, wait. Excuse me. Now it's saying 5 grams. Period. 5 grams. We are rocking with that. 5 grams left of the bright orange scrap. Now I need to find the other one. We started at 108 grams. You can't even see me weighing it, but I am weighing it. 101 grams. So that's a difference of 7, and the other one was a difference of 2. So that means this was 9 grams total. Okay. 9 grams of yarn. That's incredible. Okay. I didn't pick a bigger project because I didn't want to take forever on this. But then as I was making the little teeny tiny body, I was thinking to myself, maybe I should have picked something that was going to take more yarn up since this is a stash busting project. I don't know. I don't know. But he's so cute. What a cute little fishy. My daughter's going to freak out. She's going to love this. Anyways, I also was thinking, since orange is my smallest amount of yarn, it's probably fine. It's not like green where I really need to make some room. It's already taking up such a small amount of space. So anyways, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but this didn't take very long and it's so teeny tiny. So I kind of, am I allowed to do another one in the same video, or is that crazy? I kind of just want to spin again. Is that crazy? I'm sorry. It's so stinking cute. I haven't ever said this before, but obviously I have some amigurumi objects. Some my daughter have made, like this little purple octopus friend. Can you see that octopus? That was my first ever amigurumi, like crochet. It's not great, but it's I made that in like 2020, I think, maybe. So, anyways, I do really like to match up like with colors amigurumi, and I would love to have like one for each shelf. So now I get to put, even though there's already an orange fox on that shelf, but I get to put Harold. I just pull that out of my butt, but this is Harold the goldfish. Inaugurally going to his home. Where do you want to live? Hee. Oh, don't fall. Can you see? Yeah. That's freaking awesome. Oh, I have to put the scraps away. Sorry, excuse me, Harold. I'm so sorry. Let me clean it up over here. Wait. I wanted to do like a Tinder picture, but that actually would make me kind of sad. I don't want to give the impression that he's dead. He's fine. He's so cute. Adorable. Okay, that actually gave me a lot of joy. Okay, let's spin again. Shoot. This was so fun. We're resetting. We're going again because this was fun and I'm delusional. If you'll recall, odd is crochet, even is knitting. Remember that. Okay. Odd is crochet, even is knitting. Ready? 3. Crochet. Wow, we haven't crocheted in a while. Ooh, my favorite part. Now we get to spin for the shelf. I'm so sorry. I know you can't see this. Okay, now we get to spin for the shelf. Red. How interesting. That's shelf number 2. It's right above my laptop screen. I don't really like red that much. That's okay. Red's okay. Yarn weight, yarn weight, yarn weight. Okay, we're rolling for the yarn weight. 1. That's teeny tiny. I don't think I have any teeny tiny red yarn, actually. No, I don't. I don't have any lace weight red yarn. Oh, my bad, girl. I don't have any lace weight red yarn. I'm gonna roll again. 1 again. Incredible. Are you out of your mind? 1 again. 4. That's worsted. Phew. Oh my God. Red is probably the only color I don't have anything smaller than a worsted. Like maybe I have 1 DK up there, but I don't buy red yarn very often. Most of that is just like inherited. Oh, are you nervous? The last one that we have to roll for is finished object. This one is for real. This one is serious. 6? What is 6? I need like a cheat sheet. Wildcard. I get to pick whatever I want. Interesting. I thought I would be really excited about that, but sometimes having the restrictions is what makes you creative. So I'm not sure. I gotta think about this now. I wish I could like do illustrations because that would be so fun. Maybe I'll try. No promises. The only type of art I can do is like fiber arts. So that'd be fun though to try. Anyways, after spinning and rolling, let's recap. It has to be crocheted, the color red, worsted weight yarn, and I can make anything I want. You know, actually oh my God. Ugh. The vibes are off. The vibes are off. Guess what I forgot about? Ooh, this is my curated basket of Christmas ornament yarns. I'm doing a 12 days of Christmas ornament series. I don't know what to call it. So it's like based on the song, right? They're crochet Christmas ornaments. So there's a partridge and a French hen and a turtle dove, etc., etc. And a calling bird. I'll just say all the ones I've made. I've completed up to day 4. So now I'm on day 5, which is the 5 golden rings. Anyways, I curated this basket because I knew this would take me a while and I wanted them all to be cohesive. So I've kept all the yarns in this basket. This is still part of my stash though, and I just remembered that this was in the closet. So let me just double check because I know there's a red in here, but let me make sure there's no orange. I don't think there's any orange because I don't love orange. Okay, we're good. So I haven't messed anything up. There's no orange. There is a red though. And if I can make a Christmas ornament, because this is worsted weight yarn and it's red, so it counts, then I'm going to count that because I'm supposed to be making a Christmas ornament once a month anyways, so that I have 12 finished by the end of the year, by Christmas time. So that's my plan. First though, as you know, we have to get all this down and weigh it and see just how much red yarn we're starting with.
That's why I can tell. Process better than the finished results. Always. I'm excited to keep. Let me know how many sketchbooks a page. What are you character this evening?
Okay, I'm gonna weigh these. There will definitely be more than 1,500 grams of yarn here because there's more than the orange. I definitely prefer, oh God, I prefer more of like a muted, I'm kind of an earth tone kind of person. I definitely prefer more of a muted red than, did you know red could be highlighter, neon, radioactive nearly? This one's a lot. This is a lot. And I didn't really talk about this in the orange section because it was like less of a issue, but a lot of my red acrylic yarn is, let's just call it vintage. It was gifted to me by family members, and it's definitely like generation 1 or 2 acrylic yarn where it's not very soft. It's not like the acrylic that comes out today. It's not very soft. It's kind of scratchy. So I mainly use it for either tapestries or like decor. Like I wouldn't use it for a stuffy or heaven forbid a garment. Nothing that is going to be like directly on skin. It's not very soft and like cuddly and lovable. So that's another reason why it kind of just builds up over time, because I'm kind of limited, not only the color, but also like the feel of it. Not ideal. Anyways, let me weigh all this yarn and then we'll get right into it. Okay, sorry about the lighting. It's nighttime. It just is. But I finished weighing all of the red yarn and I put it back. I weighed all of the red yarn. Any guesses on how many grams of red yarn, everything on that red shelf, do I have? Yeah, that's going to be 1,926. Okay, so if we're doing the math, if we're going based off of 100 gram skeins, nearly 20, 19 and a quarter skeins of red yarn. Think about that in like sweater quantity. We started with orange. This is funny actually. We're kind of going in order of like how smallest to least, smallest to largest amount of yarn per color. Orange was the least amount of any one color that I have. Red, I don't know about you guys, but that shelf doesn't look that full. You can kind of fit 2 rows deep of yarn on these shelves. Okay, red shelf looks nothing like green shelf. The yellow is taking over half of orange. This looks like a nightmare. This is psychotic. I actually don't have that much purple yarn, so And ironically, I have 2 shelves of gray, a lighter gray and a darker gray, that are crammed full. I think I went through a phase where I really liked gray yarn about 6 years ago. I was in my gray phase, my gray period, if you will. So it just stays because, not that I'm not down with gray anymore. Gray is like fine, but I'm very much like a earth tone girly, obviously. Plus I like to wear gold jewelry. I'm not wearing any jewelry. I don't really wear jewelry actually, but when I do, it's gold. So I'm like not a silver girly. What's my point? Oh, that it's not looking good. We had over 15 skeins, like 100-gram skein, 1,500 grams of yarn in orange, 1,900 grams of yarn in red, and those aren't even my heaviest hitters. So it's not looking good. It's only gonna get worse from here, guys. Stick around and find out. Anyways, okay, so you remember the parameters because it was not that long ago for you. So the Stash Roulette this time gave us crochet, red, worsted weight yarn, and wildcard, which means I get to choose the finished product. I had told you that I was thinking about making a Christmas ornament, and I am going to do that. I don't want to do it right now, but I am going to do it. So the next one in rotation is the 5 golden rings, which has red, but it's not the prominent color. I don't know, and it just kind of felt like a cop-out. Plus, if we're stash busting, it looks to be like 2 grams of red yarn. Instead, I decided to go for the little, what is it? 12 drummers drumming, I think. I don't really remember the number, but it's the drummer. I went for the little drummer boy, which looks like this, which is much more red. Red is like the dominant color. I'm working on something else right here, so that's why it's so much later, is because I've been working on a sweater. I just didn't feel like crocheting. Just saying, just saying. Anyways, I think I have all my colors picked out for the little drummer boy. I did decide when I put together this basket of yarn for these 12 ornaments, I did swap out some of the colors. No orange, even though like there is a color palette that shows all the colors that they used in all these ornaments. So like they use orange for the Lords of Leaping's outfit and some bird beaks and stuff like that. I didn't want orange in my Christmas tree. Really, I just wanted to minimize the color palette because there was just so many colors in the pattern book, and I just wanted to streamline it and make it a little bit more cohesive. So I reduced the number of colors, and I remember when I picked these colors, planning out like which substitutions I would make for the colors I was excluding. Now I don't, because that was like 4 months ago. So I kind of have to wing it a little bit. Thank God I still have the basket. I don't have to re-curate anything. But I do just have to think about my substitutions a little bit more. So in the drummer's drumming, whatever, ornament, he has gray pants. Remember how I just said I'm not really fucking with gray anymore? Okay, I didn't put any gray in this Christmas ornament basket because it shows up in his pants and the Maids of Milking pail, and like a bird is made out of the gray or something. I don't know, I just didn't include it. So my only colors, red, yellow, blue, green. So like in the pattern they have like orange and purple and gray, and I don't have any of that. So I guess I'll just pick a gray, stop complaining, and just pick a gray yarn because I have a bunch of it. It's not like I would have to buy it. And I'll be back when I start on this. It's honestly a good thing, not even just for stash busting, but it's a really good thing that I'm doing this series so that it makes me crochet these ornaments, because my goal was 1 per month, and it's April and I've done 1. So I think I needed this just to kind of kick my butt in gear. But I'm not doing it right now because I want to finish this cuff first, maybe. Anyways, that was the check-in. Just to give you that scary yarn total until you have decided on a pattern. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, this has been eating me up just a little bit. So I decided on doing one of the Christmas ornaments, which you know. I felt like the next one in line, which is day 5, which is the 5 golden rings, wasn't enough red. So I was like hemming and hawing about doing the little drummer boy instead. But here's the deal, okay? I didn't want to do the little drummer boy. I'm gonna have to do him eventually. It's not like I'll never do the little drummer boy. Make the little drummer boy. But I do sometimes have a weird thing about doing things in order. And I didn't want to, and you only get one life. So I made the 5 golden ring instead. Sorry. It is cute though. It is a very cute little golden ring. Anyways, so that's number 5. The next ornament I do will be number 6. It occurred to me that because I was only using, I'm pointing to Harold the fish, because I was only using orange yarn for Harold and I cataloged all the orange yarn, I didn't have to worry about keeping track of total yarn usage. But because this one also had yellow and orange, yellow and green as well as red, I probably should have tracked those, but I didn't. I only tracked red because that's the scrap busting color that I rolled. Anyways, so I figured I'll just track the colors as they get rolled. So it all counts. Like, I used the yellow, I used the green. I'm not super pressed about keeping track of every single project. I'll just, once yellow and green get rolled, everything will get cataloged and then I'll be able to track the yarn. I kind of don't totally care about tracking the yarn anyways. I really just wanted this rolling process, rolling for craft stash busting vibe to be about getting me to use colors that I normally would not use and yarns that I haven't looked at, haven't touched in forever. So even with that spirit in mind, I did do this. Not a ton of red, but I don't really like red that much, so it was kind of difficult. Okay, and I'm not gonna apologize for that. Anyways. So I'm sorry, it's kind of a bummer. This barely counts. Let's find out exactly how much red yarn I used. I don't even actually remember if I told you how much red yarn I started with. So we'll start there. I cataloged all the red yarn, and I feel like I did tell you this, 1,926 grams of red yarn in my stash. I just remembered there's some blanket yarn that is definitely red, hiding in a Rubbermaid in my closet. That stinks. I need to write myself a note to remember about the blanket yarn. That's not happening today. It's not very much, but still. Keep that in the noggin. Okay. Anyways, and this little ornament used up 3 grams of red yarn. So now our total is only 1,923 grams of red yarn. That's a slay in my book. This is actually very cute. This one I'm rocking with. I'm a little worried about the size of the bigger ornaments, like the drummer boy and the maid of milking and the lady dancing. I feel like they're gonna be huge. Maybe they'll go on the mantle or something. Anyways, we hate to end on a bummer, but what am I supposed to do? I feel like this is enough content. So I'm going to end this video here, and I want to do this again because I want to knit something. I love to knit. I'm just in the mood to knit, that's all. I just really want to knit. So I'm excited to do this challenge again. If you would also like to do a fun little roll for stash busting project, by all means, have at it. I think it has potential. I don't really like orange and red, so I would really like to roll for a color that I do love. But it is, in any case, really stirring up the inspiration juices and making me realize I have a lot of gray I need to use. I'm on the hunt for like my next knit sweater, honestly, because I just finished this one. Spoilers. I haven't steamed it yet. That's why it's bracelet length. I think it'll get a little bit longer, but I don't really mind it. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so I need a new sweater project. So I'm searching, I'm hunting. I'm hoping that in the next video, the next time we do this, I get a color I like and the garment option. Maybe that's just wishful thinking, but I think it would be fun. I think it could come together. Anyways, thank you for watching. The total yarn used up in this video, what's 3 plus 9? That's 12. In this very first episode, we used up 12 grams of yarn. So I'm excited about that. Howard! No. Let me know in the comments below which one you prefer, Howard or the 5 golden ring ornament. As much as I love this whole idea of hand making Christmas and all decorations, which I really do, I'm excited to have the set, all 12 days of Christmas. Howard is just the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. Howard's taken the dub on this one. This was so fun. So I gotta give it to Howard, truly. But I'm excited for both. I'm glad to have both. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.